What up, everybody? Scuff D here, and it's a little overdue by about 9 days. The Decklist Contest for March, missing the announcements for the winners. I've had some inquiries. I've had a lot of busy stuff kind of preoccupy me from making content the last 7 days or so I haven't had a chance to get around to it, but I'm finally got some time to sit down and try to hit a few things. So we're going to talk about the Decklist Contest winners for March. We're going to talk about the Decklist Contest for April. We're going to talk about some of the upcoming events in April, and hopefully my schedule and what I'm working on to try to get content out as well. That's really what this is. This shouldn't take too long of a video, but there's a lot I'm trying to squeeze in there so I can get to actually doing the things that I'm talking about. So before we get to anything else here really quick, I want to thank everybody who submitted for the Decklist Contest. We had a total of 17 submissions for the April contest, or the March contest rather. The March contest theme was Duelists. Duelists was the theme. The idea was to make a deck list not only featuring a duelist or a duel, but obviously cards in there that kind of lent to their tactics, their strategy, their fighting style, or their epic encounter as it was. And we had some good submissions. Obviously, there's some warlords that kind of got submitted multiple times more than others, as with any contest. I think there's just sometimes things that immediately people go right to the head canon and go for, but there was some variety. And I want to thank everybody who submitted. So let's get into the winners. So talking about that, let me get myself out of the way here. And third place goes to Scooby-Doo Bop for his Erlin deck. Come at me, Dad. Erlin may not be a duelist necessarily, but here we go. We've got actually his go-to charge, his final strike, as it were, at Angron on Isstvan 3. He's coming out from an entrenched position, charging forward, making a defiant stand, and a fateful clash against Angron, his Primarch, trying to do his greatest duty with aggressive tactics. And basically, in a combat frenzy, there will be no survivors at Isstvan 3. This is Destiny. There's planetary purging. It all lends to an epic encounter, but ultimately it's just a bloody affair, which is basically the end story for Erlin. So that was a good duel of fates, as it were, with the Fateful Clash. Moving into second place was a popular submission, Sigismund. This is Sigismund Duelist, and I think this one stood out from the rest just in terms of how this came across. This is submitted by Seanis. This is got, a warlord with more tactics of Sigismund's style. He's also using, his greatest duty to try to bring Traitor's Demise about, making crucial choices, trying to fill the breaches with orders from Terra, rushing forward with a shield charge under the cover of shields and giving out crushing power. All the while basically being flanked or protected by the elite bodyguard, the Templar Brethren, allowing him to get to those crucial targets so he could deliver retribution. And the court's favor, I'm not quite sure. I think that's the one kind of that held me off from doing a first place on this one, because it just didn't quite hit that mark. Although in terms of warlord, Orders from Terra, Corn's favor on Sigismund Duelists, not too shabby. Or just even Orders from Terra if he's using his Death's Champion. People seem to forget about that ability. So, congratulations, Seanis, on the second place for Sigismund Duelist. First place goes to Malkavan for You Are Nothing to Me with Nikona Shirokin. This is just a deck that I think just encapsulates the entire story of Shirokin, using his Shadow Walk and his Hidden Run, leaving no witnesses with the Orphans of Horus. He's making a predatory strike, an actual tactical retreat back to the Sisypheum with the rest of the Orphans of War. Which this is a Raven Guard card pool, but he's still making surprise attacks, springing the trap with an intel report, and trying to deliver a blind side to foil the plans of Fulgrim before he reaches apotheosis, using Mordathan's sniping skills, and hopefully trying to deliver the finishing blow at the Prometheum refinery before ultimately they have to retreat into the warp back into uncharted territory. This really encapsulates the story of Shuriken, his moment in the sun, but also the title, You Are Nothing to Me, really harkens to that moment there where he just leaves Lucius dead and dying on the floor in the hallway, because that's who he is, man. He's just Edgelord Supreme. So congratulations. So that brings us to the April Decklist Contest. I know we're 9 days late into getting to that, but it's time to announce the April Decklist Contest. If you've been paying attention to the last couple of weeks of the Warp Chatter podcast, you're aware that we've already announced the theme, which is My First Legions. My First Legions is the theme for April. What does that mean? Well, the idea with that I was going with is we all start the game out playing with Loken. But there is a warlord. There's a moment at some point when you get a new warlord, you get a new faction, you get other cards, and you just take off. And from there, you are actually playing the game building deck. You've gotten more cards now. I want to see what that deck looked like for you. For me, it was Fabius Bile was the second warlord I got. The first legendary I had was Lucius as a troop. And I basically used a bunch of common and rare frontline troops, like the Ogrins and the 2-3 guys, and used Fabius's Bile to enhance them and move things along. And I didn't have any other cards to work with besides some of the Emperor's Children cards. I had some really janky tactics. I had Farron's Militia, like things that, like, as time goes on, work in better decks or you have a reason for them, but there's just only so many cards that I had access to. As a new player, what did that look like for you? Were you running cards that you thought were really good, that you just put in every deck because, you know what, this is just such a good card, or you didn't have any other options? Helis Morticarrier is a great card for as common that goes in a lot of decks, but for me, my high-cost troop that I had for the longest time was actually the good old-fashioned Ogre Bodyguard, which was an epic. That was like, oh, hey, this guy's not too bad. Not as good as, the Fjorst Ogrins, because they actually had frontline, but that's what it looked like for me. So that was my first Legions. Was it Karn for you? Did you just get aggressive and go aggro? Did you get a Primarch? Did you get a starter deck and then take it apart or add new cards to make it your own? Did you pick up something from the shop just recently? If you're a new player, what are you playing? Is it one of the warlords that you picked up from the campaign? That's what I'm looking for with My First Legions. It's really kind of a different kind of game, a different style of deck contest. But I really want to see what people's First Legions experience was. And obviously, we've got a little less time to get the deadline in. April 25th. Get those to me by Discord PM, Reddit PM, or whatever, and first place gets 1,000 gold, second place gets 500 gold, third place gets 300 gold. Just like the March winners are getting theirs, the April winners will get theirs as well. Now that brings me up to other events happening in April. I'm just taking a look here. I just was in the midweek tournament for the Alpha Legion. It was an all Alpha Legion midweek tournament. That was kind of fun. You had to have one copy of every trap in your deck, and Hurtado Bronzy was banned, and everybody had to be Alpha Legion, and it was pretty goofy. But for Barnet Legions, the next Barnet Legions is April 23rd. I don't have the format picked out yet, but if you want to attend the Barnet Legions, that's the date. Mark it on your calendar. I don't know what the next Steam stream is going to be. I just say so if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, consider at least getting notifications so you know when that is going to be, and then follow the community hub on Steam. Play me on that day when I'm doing the Steam stream. Win with the challenge of the night, whether it is a certain faction, warlord cards that you have to do, whatever. If you beat me, you get a promo code for 1,000 gold. So I'll have 3 promo codes to give away. That's 3,000 gold I'm handing out to people. Do that monthly. And then I'm trying to do the Twitch as well, doing 100 warlords or 100 games with 100 warlords. I don't have a nice kicky catchy title for it just yet, but I'm holding off on Loken. We're 2 wins away from 100 with Loken for 100 games, and then I move on to the next warlord. And I'm trying to do Twitch streams every Thursday But you can follow me at Twitch, SKUFF_D at Twitch, and you can take a look at the schedule there, because we're not just playing Legions, we're playing Mechanicus, which I've just about beat. I'm going to be doing that, I think, tomorrow night. Beating that game on the final mission. Battlefleet Gothic Armada 2. I'm looking forward to some Chaos Gate. Other games that might still be 40k, but YouTube is the dedicated Legions channel. So there's a lot that I'm trying to get done and organized, and at the same time keep delivering content. I've got the Chaos card by card video I'm going to be doing. That's actually going to be a 3-part video, because as I've said in the past, these neutral card pools are so massive that they need to be broken up into multiple parts. So you can look forward to that. I will hopefully have those out and done within the next 2 weeks. Then the card by card series will conclude. We'll be finally done, and I can get back to making deck list videos and training cage videos and everything else that sparks my fancy. I've been playing a lot of games, been having a lot of fun with different warlords, but I can only do so many videos and only have so much time to edit content and upload content, and it's a lot, guys. If I actually played Legions more than I made content, I probably would do pretty good. It'd be somewhere else. But that's it for me. That's what's going on. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for checking out. Spread the word if you haven't already. Let folks know. Hit me up for the more details on the Decklist Contest if you need them, or on the Barnet Legions that's upcoming. And until then, keep playing Legions. We'll talk to you later. Bye.